What's up, y'all? Today we're gonna head on over to the Texas Ski Ranch and we're gonna go over how to improve your switch riding. And this isn't just about riding switch, it's also about breaking habits. Most left foot forward people would prefer to spin right on and off of obstacles, and most right foot forward people would prefer to spin left. And obviously there's still a lot of people that are left foot forward who spin left and right foot forward people who spin right, so we're not gonna leave you guys out. Breaking habit of spinning only one direction and only riding regular is extremely important and will open a ton of new doors to new tricks. I have definitely seen pro riders before who can spin regular backside 1080s but will struggle doing a switch backside 360. I thought this was pretty funny, so I figured I'd make this video for you guys to help y'all out. If you are a beginner, before we head to the cable, something that will help you guys out with your switch riding is that I've noticed a lot of people who just start riding switch, their shoulders are sort of cranked all the way over here and their arms are sort of twisted up like this, and it's not really a comfortable position. So something that will help would be taking your shoulders and sort of aligning them with the direction your board is pointing and sort of having your arms out like this. It's a lot more comfortable, so if you get your body in the right position, it'll definitely be a lot easier. Riding switch comfortably doesn't happen in just one set. The real key to getting comfortable while riding switch is riding switch a lot. I mean a lot. You really need to build up that switch riding muscle memory, and the more you do this, the easier it will get. Let's head to the cable now, and I'll throw the GoPro on my POV mount and I'll sort of just walk you guys through my set and show you what I do to help improve my switch riding and help myself break some of my habits. Just made it out to Texas Ski Ranch. It looks absolutely epic out there. We're gonna go get all my stuff on and then we'll hop on the water. I just got all my stuff on. I'm gonna grab my board now and head down to the dock. Thank you. All right, we're out here on the water now at TSR, and I'm pretty hyped. We got super good weather today, and should be pretty fun. So what I was saying earlier for beginners, well, let me hop on over into the switch position. But something I really noticed about a lot of the beginners is that your shoulders are really kind of closed off and your arms are kind of cramped up in a weird position, so you're not really facing straight. Something you can do to make things a bit more easier is actually take your shoulders and your chest and kind of open them up a bit and angle them facing the same direction as your board with your arms kind of out like this. This will make things a lot more comfortable. Also, something that will really help a lot is make sure you go through a lot of corners throughout the day riding switch. Just going through the corners, getting nice and comfortable will help you improve your switch riding a lot. If you are goofy riding on a counterclockwise cable like this or regular riding on a clockwise cable, when you do go through the corner switch, you will be going through switch toe side, which is a lot more difficult than switch heel side. But if you do learn to go through all the corners switch toe side, you'll be improving your switch game a lot. Let's talk about things that are comfortable and some things that might be uncomfortable. For the majority of riders, not all riders, but just in most cases, a switch frontside 270 onto an obstacle is usually more comfortable than the regular frontside 270 onto an obstacle, just because you end up landing in either the regular front board position or the regular back lip position. So I'm gonna do the switch frontside 270 onto this box right here to really kind of give you guys an idea. The switch frontside 270 is definitely a lot easier for me. I can pretty much do it at the snap of a finger anywhere in the park. I'll do another one right here on the end of this pipe. Since something like this is naturally a lot easier for me, it's really easy to fall into the habit of just doing it all the time and never really worrying about doing it the other direction. Something I like to do every set is kind of make sure I do it both directions. I might not always do it in every single video, but here is a regular frontside 270 switchback lift. Doing tricks like this in both directions will definitely make you more well-rounded of a rider. And on top of that, if you go to different cable parks and obstacles are placed in different places, it'll definitely open the window of opportunity to do this hit on a lot more obstacles, which could definitely help you out in contests or just filming videos or things like that in the future. Something I notice pretty often in, say, intermediate to maybe advanced riders, not always, but I do notice that a lot of them can only really kind of land blind in one direction. For me personally, my left hand is a lot better than my right hand. So something I'll do probably every set, 1 or 2 times, I'll just make sure I do a little switch ollie to blind and practice landing blind with my right hand as well, so I can train the muscle memory on that side of my body, so I can be more well-rounded once again. Front lip is actually a trick that I find pretty funny. It's pretty easy for me, even from like the side of the obstacle. So like a regular front lip like this is a nice and easy one for most people, even though you do have to bring your back foot up and over the rail. And the thing I find funny about it is that it was so naturally easy for me at the beginning, but the switch one is actually something that almost felt impossible for me whenever I was first learning it, especially from the side of the rail. I think this one's really cool because a lot of times when you have a really advanced rider following you, and sometimes, you know, you copy each other's tricks, something as simple as this can kind of stump them. So like a switch front lip, I definitely make sure to do quite a few switch front lips every set, just because this is probably the least comfortable position for me to force my body into, and the more I do it, the more comfortable I get and the easier obstacles become for me. Doing switch ollie to blinds probably isn't enough to really become as comfortable as possible landing blind with the wrong hand. So up here on the pipe, I'll do a switch front lip again, but I'm gonna pretzel 270 out and land blind with the arm that I'm not really comfortable with. Landing blind with your uncomfortable hand on smaller features like this pipe we just hit is definitely great training for landing blind, but eventually you're going to want to step up to a larger, more tall obstacle, because the higher you fall from and land blind, the more comfortable you are at landing blind with that hand. So we're going to hop on backboard and then frontside 270 out and land with my right hand blind. That was probably one of the taller obstacles in the park. There aren't really that many tall obstacles here, but it still makes for good training. I was saying earlier that a switch front lip was actually one of the more difficult hits for me from the sides of obstacles, but also one that is pretty uncomfortable for me is actually a switch front board. So I try and make sure every so often I do a switch front board as well. We'll hop onto the side of the pipe right here and do a switch front board. I'd say the switch back lip is probably the most difficult for most people. It comes in second place for me after the switch front lip personally, but we'll do a switch back lip right here at the end of this pipe. If you're an intermediate to advanced rider, you can probably do a backside 360 without even thinking that much. You could maybe even do a back 5 as well. You might even be able to do a back 7 or a back 9 as well, but you don't really want to be that guy that only spins one direction. And the direction that's actually most difficult for me to spin is switch backside. I try and make sure I do 1 or 2 switch back 3s every set, and if I want to, I might try and step it up a little bit more. Something that's even a little bit more difficult for me than switch heel side backside is actually spinning switch toe side backside. So let's do a switch toe side backside 3. Sometimes I like to practice my regular ollie back 3s on the water. And every now and then, but this one I really suck at, is actually doing a switch ollie backside 3. I fall on this quite often. All right, so that's kind of what I do to make sure my switch riding is always up to par, and then I'm sort of just stepping slightly out of my comfort zone. Keep in mind, what's comfortable for me and what's comfortable for you could be completely different, but I always try and make sure I work on the things I'm least comfortable with. Doing this during your sets, I think, is very important, and it opens a ton of doors for new tricks in the future, so I think it's definitely worth giving it a try. Riding switch and learning these tricks that you are uncomfortable with doesn't just happen in a couple minutes. This is something that gradually happens over time. There's really no secret to it. You just have to really stick with it and do it as much as possible. If you guys like this video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, comment below on what kind of videos you guys want to see in the future. And remember, I upload a video every second day forever. So make sure you guys subscribe. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.